welcome back to Shanny Tales. So today I decided to film a completely different video apart from my standard makeup videos. I'm going to be starting a series of videos and basically giving advice on certain situations and certain topics. My first topic that I'm going to start is basically going to be chapter 1, how to deal with toxic people. Toxic people are basically people that are emotionally, mentally and physically draining. They're attention seekers and all they bring around is negative energy. If you know somebody, maybe it's a family member, a friend, or an employee or manager that is toxic, you need to learn how to deal with them. They would even really identify themselves as toxic because they don't see the negative energy and the negative aura that they bring around. So I'm just going to give you guys a few tips on how to deal with toxic people and how to basically make sure that your inner peace is not being affected by their negativity. Since college, I've been on a journey of trying to find inner peace. So my first step is to stop pretending that you're okay with this toxic person or this toxic situation, this toxic relationship. It doesn't have to be a person, individual, whatnot. It could be a situation or a place in general. You need to tell yourself 100% that you are no longer okay with this situation, and you need to stop pretending like you're okay. Relying on your support system. Like I said, I would have to call my friends and basically ask them if I am right for feeling this way. So your approach towards toxic people is obviously, it's weak and negative because it's making you feel a certain way about yourself. So toxic people should never ever be able to make you feel like you are less than who you are because of how they feel. Before you have to be in this toxic situation or with this toxic person, the best thing for you to do would be to call a non-toxic person before and after you are with that person or in that situation. It's time for you just to let yourself further clarify and have your friend basically explain to you that no, that fair enough, And most of the times, if you're feeling a certain way about something, your close friends, they will give you 100% honest opinion about the situation. They're not going to lie and say whatnot. They will give you an honest opinion about that situation. And maybe you've gone wrong and maybe you've took it too far, and your support system will let you know that. Just try and establish a boundary, like this is the line, this is where I have to go and I have to deal with it for this amount of period, and then for the rest of it I don't have to be in that toxic situation or around these toxic people. The same way that if it's with a toxic person, you need to establish a boundary. You can't be around someone that makes you feel unease and uncomfortable and anxious all the time, because that's all you're going to feel, and then it's going to elevate and you're going to start having negative self-talk about yourself. You're going to be dampening your mood because their mood is dampened. Toxic people will throw their emotions onto you, and if you don't deal with it in the correct way, then you will start feeling like you're less than what you are. And in no way or form am I saying that toxic people are not worth the time and worth the effort. I've always said to my friends, you need to think about yourself. You need to think about yourself and how you deal with situations. And if you know yourself and you know that you being around a toxic person is not helping you in any way, why would you stay? What is the point of you staying if you know that you being around toxic people is no good for you? You have to cut people off without no hesitation, no warning, no whatever. You don't need to have a chat about it sometimes. Just need to distance yourself and cut people off. Some things are just not worth discussing. If you know people, they're just not going to listen to you and they're just hard-headed and they're stubborn and they're not going to listen to you, then what's the point of you having to explain why you no longer fuck with them? Just because you've spent a longer period of time with them and whatnot, that does not mean that you still don't have the right to just distance yourself and walk away if you're not happy with how you're being treated by these people. Just because you've been friends with them or you've been going out with them for like years and 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 years doesn't mean you should let your inner peace be affected by their negativity on a day-to-day basis. I feel like I'm a very selfish person. If I feel like something is bringing me, like if I feel like something is bringing me negativity and is making me question me and is making me question what I'm doing and it's making me feel down, and I'm chatting shit about myself, and I'm saying that I'm not good at this, and I'm saying that I'm gonna fail my degree, if that negative energy is coming around me, I'm sorry, once I realize it, I'm gone. I see no point in me having to tarnish me because there's some negative energy. Why? In this world, we have to be selfish. The only way that we are going to love anything and love anyone is if you love yourself. And that means getting rid of the toxic people. Another tip for dealing with toxic people is maybe just writing down some notes in a diary and then ripping it up, everything that they've made you feel on that occasion and how you feel about yourself and how you feel about them. Write it down on a piece of paper and rip it up, just to say, this is not important. This is not important. You are a toxic person. This is not important. Rip, rip, rip. That's all it is. How they make you feel is not important, because you need to believe in yourself and say, this is not me. That is not how I am as a person. The way they make you feel, if they make you feel spiteful, they make you feel bitter, they make you feel angry, they make you feel like a bitch, like you want to start bitching about, that's another thing I hate. Please, I can't stand it. This is where toxic people have an issue, because they seem to think that your life is their life and everyone else's life is their life as well. Your life is your life, mate. If you are around a toxic person, you need to learn how to guard your emotions and not let your emotions be affected by their mood. That's a big thing. How a toxic person feels is usually negative, it's usually just uneasy to be around if that's not the space that you're in. When you're around a toxic person's space, the negativity that they bring is intense, and it basically just dampens a mood. And no one likes a bloody party pooper. I don't like a party pooper, but sometimes you have to be that person that poops the party pooper. How to deal with toxic people? The tips I've given you is basically stop pretending that you're okay. Number one, stop pretending that you're okay with what they're doing and what they're saying and how they're making you feel. You need to let yourself know that you're not okay with this anymore and you're not going to stand for this anymore. Number two, relying on your support system from non-toxic people. So before you have to go into a toxic situation, talk to your close friends and basically let them know how the situation is making you feel. If a situation is making you feel anxious and making you feel scared, let them know, and they will be there to support you throughout it and after it. Number three, you have to establish boundaries with toxic people. And there, just say to yourself, okay, I'm working this many hours, I'm gonna ignore your shit for this many hours. Listen, you can ignore people, guys. If they say something in out, ignore these people, and you establish boundaries with what you deal with and how it's going to make you feel. You need to have a cutoff point where they start talking about this, you just ignore or change the subject. Even ignore, change the subject, or walk away. My fourth tip is going to be to distance yourself and walk away from toxic people. There's no point in you staying in a situation that makes you feel like shit. You just need to distance yourself and walk away. You don't need to explain to them why you're distancing yourself and you're walking away. Just do it. You don't need to explain yourself for anybody. The things you do as a person, you need to take control of how you feel and how people are going to make you feel. Take control. Because there's no need for someone who has the most brightest light to be dampened by a freaking grey cloud. You should never, ever, ever, ever let someone dampen your bright light because of their grey cloud. Please. If you have a toxic person and you're finding it difficult to deal with them, or a toxic situation where you're finding it difficult to deal with them, just please think about how you feel and how you want to carry on living your life, and how you guys don't want these toxic people to ruin how you feel about yourself. Thank you guys, thank you so much for watching this, and let me know what topics you want me to talk about in my next video. Thank you.